Hello, my late start U.S. history class. I just want to commend all of you for doing your best to keep up. Late start classes are tough. I've said that from the beginning, and I'm sure you've been saying that to yourself from the beginning. We just move so quickly. And I've had some of you write to me and say that had you known it was going to be like this, maybe you wouldn't have been even taking the class. I understand. It doesn't hurt my feelings. There's nothing that we can do about it, but I just want to always acknowledge it with you to say, look, as I've mentioned many times, I have to teach the same amount of information to you in a normal semester and to this one. And so I just want to remind you, I'm not grading you with multiple choice questions. You don't have to memorize everything. You have to keep up the work. Do your best to keep up the work. Do your best to make sure you don't slack on the paper rules about citations, dates, and sticking to what only we cover in the modules. It's very important, okay? And this is, and you'll notice that if you're keeping up the work, and look, even if you're kind of slacking, I give enough points that you can lose some points. So sometimes, I don't want to tell you not to do your best work, but, sometimes you might just need to calculate some things and you have a rough week. It's going to be okay. I don't take it personal. I'm going to grade you based on what you give me. And if you give me half the work and you can afford that, maybe that's a strategy you want to take. But I'm only encouraging you to figure that on your own if that's something you can do. Don't ask me if that's a good idea. You gotta know your own points. You gotta know your own life and like what you want to do. Ultimately, what I hope that you're still able to do is learn. That's all I really care about for me personally as your instructor. Okay? And we are seeing this turbulent history of the U.S. and we're in a turbulent world now with a lot of intense things, a lot of war going on. And this is a very serious time. And we have to realize that that's how it was viewed by many people at the time as well. You can look back and we see the war for independence, that not everybody in the colonies was on the same page. Some people thought that was disloyal. You need to side with the British. Some people said that's not. How could you justify that? Look what they're doing to us. Friends, family members were divided over this. We might find ourselves divided over many of these conflicts that have been happening in the U.S. commitment to them. It's a very trying time. And of course, but we have to remind ourselves this as well. We are not suffering as much as most people in the world have. We don't have bombs dropping on us. We've only had the War of 1812, really. And I think that we need to be humbled by that. And having said that, I hope that you take learning this history serious and look at the world where it's at now seriously, and that we can participate in things that will help encourage sound minds to do the conflict resolutions that we want to see. Because as we look in this Howard Zen book and we go through all the history, life tends to be an ebb and flow of conflict and peace. And so, what more can I say to that? If you have any questions, issues, contact me. I hope you're having a good week, and we'll be in touch.